I decided to spend my last day of my fall camping trip in Cades Cove by exploring the Rich Mountain Trail Loop, which is right off of Cades Cove Loop Road. The Rich Mountain Trail Loop is part of the Carolina Mountain Club's 100 Favorite Trails Challenge, which includes trails from Great Smoky Mountains National Park and the Carolina Blue Ridge. Despite it being listed as one of 100 favorite trails, it's not nearly as popular as some other trails in the park, and would be a good option for those looking for some quieter hiking trails. The trail starts off near the John Oliver cabin, which happens to be the oldest structure along Cades Cove Loop Road. From there, the trail starts ascending. I was surprised by the amount of fall wildflowers I saw along the trails this weekend. I'm used to seeing a lot of spring wildflowers in the Smokies, but had forgotten about the multiple fall wildflowers. These asters were the most common ones I observed, but there were other species as well, which really isn't that surprising considering there are roughly 1,500 species of wildflowers within Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So I came across two guys who were headed the opposite way as me. They're like, hey, just so you know, there's a little copperhead just sunning himself up on the trail there, not a tenth of a mile down the trail. I'm like, all right, thank you. That was a quarter mile ago. So now I'm not sure if as soon as they walk by, the copperhead's like, I'm gonna find a better spot, or if they're just really bad at estimating distance. To me, fall hiking means puffball mushrooms. They're very fun to squish, and doing so actually helps to release their spores. Unlike some fungi that form relationships with living plants, puffballs feed on decaying organic matter. To be quite honest, I wasn't entirely feeling this hike after packing up camp this morning. It was cold, I was tired, and didn't really want to change out of my cozy camp clothes. I knew I could just drive home in the warmth of my car and start on all the errands I had to do before going back to work tomorrow. But I also remembered I've never regretted getting out for a hike or a run, so I decided to change into my shorts while it was still in the mid-40s, knowing I would warm up soon, and do the trails I had planned. Shortly after I started moving, I did in fact warm up and was content to be on the trail. About halfway through, though, the trail started going down instead of up. The sun was shining, showing off the fall colors and making it pleasantly warm without being too hot. And I remembered how much I absolutely adore being in the mountains. I mean, there's not much better than running full speed down a pretty mountain with the sun shining in your face. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to be always adventuring.